It doesn't always have to be centered around having the camera or whatever. I know that's what the channel is for, so I'm pretty sure majority of y'all won't make it to the end of this video. But yeah, if anybody can relate, drop it in the comments, man. Like, speak your truth. I'm huge on speaking truth. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, that's all we got, and that's really what keeps us connected is our ability to relate. Tube, what's good? It's been a minute. I know I usually say that at the beginning of my videos, but this time, this the longest minute that it's been. So this video isn't gonna be like my other videos. I will get back to those, but this specific video is because YouTube has been on my ass and said that they're gonna cut my shit if I don't basically get my head out of my ass within the next 30 days. So here we are, head out of ass. This is pretty much a kind of an update video. I'll touch on a few things and still try to kind of give y'all some insights because that's what I like to do. But ultimately, just kind of catching you up on where I'm at and where I've been. It's been a long ass 6 months, a lot of changes, and just a lot of areas in life. So what I wanted to speak on was basically anybody that's doing something and life is lifing. When you're trying to do something and life is lifing, it's throwing everything that it can at you, both good and bad, but you gotta be able to juggle these things, right? You have to be able to maintain a degree of balance in order for you to keep everything afloat. I don't think a lot of people speak on that. I think a lot of people just tell you like the good shit. They tell you when everything is great. And a lot of things have been great. And there's a lot of pros to everything that I'm talking about. But some stuff does come with cons. But shit, where to start? So last video was a video that I had shot a fitness campaign for Resorts World. This was April, I think. So since then, I have now been brought on to the marketing team as the lead photographer for Resorts World. So that was from June forward. I'm still there currently. And it's just been a different flow for me all in all. Still adjusting to it. 6 months in, I'm still adjusting, which I knew going into it that would be the case. It's a huge adjustment because, mind you, I've been doing my own thing for 15 years. This year, actually, it'll be 15 years. I started in 2010. So it was like kind of making that shift into, I'm still doing my own thing to a degree, but there's definitely a system that's there, a tier where I'm going through director of marketing, VP of marketing, CMO, and everything has to be approved, and we have to approve campaigns, mood boards, storyboards beforehand, and then they have to come also afterwards with dealing with the edits, so on and so forth. So really it's just a different pace, different process. I have to devote time to doing that on top of still trying to maintain everything else that I was already doing. That is just change number one that was thrown at me in 2024. Good change, don't get me wrong, but like I said, great for building the resume, great for getting in with a lot of different things, being able to network in a bunch of different ways, dealing with different people from different areas. I get to deal with a lot of high-end artists. I've shot for Lil Wayne at this point. I've shot for T-Pain. I've shot for Ludacris. So I've shot for a list of big like DJs. But the cons is, like I said, my time. I'm huge on time. So, you know, it's a trade-off like everything else. No different than doing anything else and working a job, right? You gotta make these decisions. I'm basically just making decisions, trying to change the trajectory that I'm on constantly, which everybody should be doing, right? You should be trying to put your best efforts at making the best decisions possible that's gonna progress you over time. So also within the same month of being brought on there, I opened up a studio. And this was all like within the 2 months of negotiations with them. I'm also dealing with real estate brokers, landlords, locations, and trying to iron out details of that. So that was on me heavy. Went through 3 different locations, which has been like an ongoing thing. Mind you, I've never really spoke on this, but I've been trying to open up a studio since like 2017. And without having like the proper guidance of how to go about it, it's been, I guess, I don't want to say failures because they're not failures. It's just lessons, right? And it's just been over time where I'm just learning different things on how to go about it. But we would try to open up a location every year at some point. We would go check out 2 to 3 spots, usually apply for one, not get approved, to where it got to a point where we started getting approved, but then the situations weren't right. We couldn't negotiate the right terms that we wanted. And then this year, finally, it got to a point where finally figured out all the boxes that needed to be checked prior to going into the situation. And basically got the paper trail, got everything together that needed to be put together in order for us to get into this place, and found one, and we got it. So then we spent a whole solid like 3 weeks. We got approved in June, moved in July, and opened August 1st. So we spent 3 weeks of July, because we technically didn't move in until like July 7th. 3 weeks of July, just day in, day out, going in and renovating this space, trying to bring it up to what it was that the idea was for the space. And we actually executed it. We literally finished the last like touch up the day that we were opening, the day that we were doing our grand opening. So it was doing all of that. And also within that same month of trying to get the studio up, I'm doing back and forth with Resorts World and still juggling the normal Tay-Price photography stuff and all of that. So it's just like, blessings, don't get me wrong. I like to call them good problems, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're problems, you just gotta find solutions to them. Nonetheless, just juggling a lot of things. So I don't know if anybody can relate to, having a lot of things going on and you already got this situation kind of ironed out and it's moving in one direction for you and you're trying to start another avenue, and it just takes a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like, and all of everything that I have going on around me at one time is a lot already. So it's kind of just stacking it. And I was really trying to like push my threshold. I'm still trying to push my threshold. That's number 2. Number 3 is just family dynamic situations have changed. And maybe other people can relate. I'm sure a lot of people can relate because I've had a lot of conversations with people that I know, and they're dealing with similar situations where what they thought was gonna be is no longer, and you have to adjust that too. So, long story short, without sugarcoating, going through like a breakup. So it's like you're going through family dynamics, my son is involved. It's a lot to deal with, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like you have things that are in operation around you, and those things don't stop. Life doesn't stop. Life's not gonna slow down for you, you know what I'm saying? So you have to do what you gotta do in order for you to keep pushing through. And so that's where we're at now. So that's where I've been for the past 6 months, is pretty much juggling those 3 things. I think I have a pretty high threshold, but I also realized after opening the studio, because that's been a huge goal of mine for years, and finally hitting that goal, and just to throw it on there, is that the studio is super successful. It's been thriving literally since the day we opened it. But I also realized that sometimes you gotta slow down. Sometimes you have to stop and smell the fucking flowers. It's like we go so hard trying to do this, trying to make our dreams come true. It really takes a lot of energy to do that. And I feel like these are the things that a lot of people don't talk about. Your gurus and entrepreneurs and all of that shit, like, they don't talk about like the other side of having high output and doing all of that stuff, is that it comes at a cost. There's certain things that can fall apart, or that can just get very turbulent for you if they get neglected. And anybody that's in the space can relate. And if you're not in the space and you're watching this from like a beginner position, just a heads up is the shit sounds great on the internet. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, it's great to be like an ambitious person and want more and pursue your dreams. I'm not gonna tell you not to do that. Just to sum it up, it's a marathon. It's not a race. You know what I'm saying? So pace yourself. Don't jeopardize other things that are meaningful for you. Don't jeopardize other things that are meaningful to you just in order to hit this mark fast. If you have to switch gears in order for you to get there, and it might take you a little bit longer, that's okay. That's all that I'm gonna say with doing your things. So really that's it. I didn't wanna make some fake facade video and just jump back into doing my shit like nothing has happened and like I didn't go anywhere and just try to generate some fake video. Like, I'd rather be real with y'all, let y'all know where I'm at, what I'm going through, and who knows, maybe some of y'all can relate. If you can relate, maybe drop it in the comments, we can talk about it. I'm always big on having those conversations. I was on a live and somebody was like, yo, where the YouTube videos at? And I was just like, damn, like somebody actually like, in here that watched my videos, and I fell off the face of the planet as far as YouTube goes. And the videos were helping people. So definitely want to get tapped back in with those. But yeah, like if anybody can relate to anything with having a bunch of stuff on their plate, just doing whatever, or going through life changes, whatever it may be, drop it in the comments. We could talk about it. I love having real conversations with real people. It doesn't always have to be centered around having the camera or whatever. I know that's what the channel is for, so I'm pretty sure majority of y'all won't make it to the end of this video. But yeah, if anybody can relate, drop it in the comments, man. Like, speak your truth. I'm huge on speaking truths. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, that's all we got. And that's really what keeps us connected is our ability to relate. If I say something you can relate to and vice versa, that's great. If you got some type of knowledge, anything that you could drop or give whatever, that I can benefit from, I'm all ears. I'm not gonna sit here and try to act like I know all of what I'm doing just because I'm sitting in front of this camera. That's not how it works. But yeah, just wanted to keep y'all, in the loop with where it's at. So that being said, now that y'all do know what I do have going on, I will be making more videos. Mind you, this entire time I've been shooting, I just haven't sat down to put the videos together. So I have behind the scenes of a lot of these shoots that I've done, and a lot of stuff in between that I can put together videos for you guys. Like I said, I don't want to say my head's been in my ass. Like, I've been thinking about it. I just haven't set aside the time. Time management is big. I haven't set aside the time to sit down and do it, but the content is there. So I'll put that together for you guys. If there's anything that I can speak on as far as like opening the studio, like I'm gonna go all into the process of doing that and everything that you have to deal with. If anybody's interested in opening a studio, those videos will be great for that. And then also just all the stuff that I'm doing with Resorts World, working on a team of people, having marketing, having different departments coming together to put together campaigns, and being dead in the center of that is an experience in itself. And it could potentially be a position that you would want to be in. Maybe not for a big casino, but just for any business, any company that's looking to beef up their marketing team or whatever. It may allow you to put yourself in that position in order to do so. So I'm gonna put some videos together touching on that stuff. Hopefully you guys will be able to take away some type of information from that. But yeah, that's all we got, man. So, but nonetheless, if you made it to the end, I appreciate you. If you tap back in, it's like the first video I've done in like 6 months. I appreciate you for showing up. Go ahead and I guess like the video if you like it, subscribe, subscribe and turn on your notifications so when I drop the next video talking about the stuff, you guys can be tuned in. But that's it, man. Just short and sweet. Let's go.